So now let's move on to the next point. After learning 29, uh, this point also we have understood in the context of section 40, if you remember, that all those which are going for the public invitation, it's mandatory for them to deal in one or more recognized stock exchanges. And if any one application is rejected, you have to refund the whatever amount is received, no matter it is 100% subscription. Okay? 30th is not, I said, no star at all. Is it compulsory to advertise the prospectus in the newspaper? No, it's not. But it is recommended. If you do, it's fine. If you do not do, not a problem. 31, 32, I have already done. Shelf and red herring, so I don't want to waste my time. 33 is the abridged prospectus. By issuing the notification, ICAI has not considered this, but I do not want to take a chance. So let's have some comments on this quickly. Yesterday I showed you some practical prospectuses. Yes or no? What was the length? Okay. According to the law, it is compulsory for the company to issue prospectus with every form. Today I printed 10 lakh forms. So along with one form doesn't mean that applicant will invest in my company. It is just a form which will be freely distributed. It is not like the university's admission that you have to pay 2000 rupees per application form. No. Are you getting me what I am trying to say? आपको सिर्फ फॉर्म है और हर फॉर्म के साथ क्या आएगा? Every form must be accompanied with the prospectus. So form 2 pages, prospectus 1000 pages. I will go to the broker and will say I want 100 forms, and broker will say, wow, you want to invest in the company? I said नहीं रे, वो बुक बेचकर रद्दी में से पैसा कमाऊंगा. Paper, scrap. Isn't it a problem? देखो बात समझो. Isn't it a problem? Yes or no? So corporate organizations went to the government and say that have you gone crazy? Yeah, you're making us to distribute prospectus with each and every form. Yeah, we will die. Government says, but no option. People must know everything. And that is possible only if you issue out the prospectus. If you give the prospectus. I said, Bhai Sahab, please, मर जाएंगे हम लोग. And then after thinking a lot, because you see, just imagine the stationery cost. One page, both the sides just a 0.5. 0.5. 1000 pages, 500 rupees. 10 lakh forms. खत्म हो जाओगे आप लोग, आप समझ रहे हो? उतना पैसा सिर्फ स्टेशनरी में जाएगा. पर वाकई लगता है कि लोग पढ़ते हैं. गुजरात में भेलपुरी में वो पत्ता करके उसमें वो देते हैं फिर. खैर, that is the practical problem. So this by anyhow needs to be overcome. And government thought this problem solution by introducing the another provision, another concept, and this concept is the reputation in this existing act. Earlier, the same concept was there in the Companies Act 1956, and it is saying about the abridged prospectus. Abridged stands for something what is summarized. So today, what happens is like the law says you do not give the original prospectus. You just give what? The abridged format, and that format is also specified by the rules, by the act. And now, according to the new law, I'm telling you guys, if you go with any company's abridged prospectus, maximum pages are 40 or 50, that's all. And even for that, they are using very low quality paper. Very low quality paper. If you ask us, sir, how do you know? भाई देखो मैं एक तो सीए हो, ब्रोकर कि यहाँ पे जो रद्दी पड़ी होती है ना, मेरे को पता होता है देखो कि इतनी घटिया क्वालिटी के पेपर्स, because they cannot afford the paper quality like that copy power and JK papers. जो worst to worst है वो उठाओ, because it's just a formality. Yes or no? But not only to that, if any applicant wants to see your original prospectus, you have to provide the address where it is accessible. And you have to give the access during business hours. You decide when to 1, 2 to 4, 2 to 6, it is you. But you have to provide the location address where it is applicable. Thank God today we have the internet era where the people are saying that it is available to our website, download and read it. वो स्टेशनरी कॉस्ट है जा प्रिंट करवा के ला तेरे खुद के कॉस्ट से. Students, am I clear to all of you what I'm saying? So today, if you want to see any company's abridged prospectus, I'm not sure whether I will get this or not, but see. So HDFC Life, that is the abridged prospectus I have. It is life insurance. Got it? Just check it up, guys, and tell me how many pages are there. कितने pages है बेटा यहाँ पर? और वो कितने थे? So this is what the difference is. Abridged prospectus, I cannot say that it contains all the details, but it contains all the relevant details which can help the investor to take the investment decision. And while, okay, let me tell you practical, there are so many chartered accountancy firms. In fact, if you go to, I would say, Big Four, one of the consulting department is just helping the company to prepare what? Abridged prospectus, and they are charging like a bomb. बहुत, because you are saving 5 crore stationery. तो कुछ तो अच्छा फीस मिलना चाहिए. Yes or no? Okay, guys. So that was, I would say, the point about, look at this is Exide Life Insurance, and all that. This is some details like details about the scheme of amalgamation and some rationale of the scheme, and I would say the general risk, merchant banker, and it is written also that the document contains information pertaining to the unlisted entity Exide Life and the scheme of amalgamation under section ठीक है नहीं तो amalgamation कहाँ है. This abridged prospectus has been in the terms of the requirements of the specified SEBI circular. तो SEBI ने भी बोला है कि इसमें आपको चाहिए. तो देखो गाइस 35 to 37 is applicable. अब ये 35 to 37 कहाँ पे applicable होगा? 34 is nothing but what? Criminal liability. 35 is nothing. बट इन लोगों ने 35 जानबूझ के मिसिंग कर दिया. वो क्रिमिनल लायबिलिटी थी. ठीक है. सो 35 is civil liability. But are you getting me? 36 is the fraud. 37 is the class action, and 30 is the personation. So 35 to 37 applicable है और बाकी आप खुद देख लो यहाँ पे. Am I clear to all of you? So this is how the abridged prospectus looks like. अगर आपको किसी और का देखना है तो ये नेल्को करके कोई कंपनी थी, इसको NNPL के नाम से जानते हैं. It's mandatory. Otherwise it's not possible यार. हर अगर ये तो कंपलसरी नहीं बनाएगा तो कहाँ जाएगा? हर एक के लिए तेरे को 1000 पेज का बुकलेट तो बांटता फिरेगा तो बचेगा क्या लास्ट में? हाँ तो वो तो गूगल का अपना वो होता है भाई, वो उसको यार हिलो मतलब उस जितना जो ज्यादा सर्च होता है, ये कह के जितनी वेब ऑप्टिमाइजेशन ज्यादा है उस हिसाब से सर्च में आपकी प्रायोरिटीज आती है. देखते मेरा नाम है या नहीं है. देख पहला मेरा नाम है. देख तो लोगों ने मेरे बारे में कुछ सर्च किया होगा. क्या बात है. देखो भाई बहुत कुछ है मेरे बारे में, लेकिन सिर्फ चिराग लिखते तो ये ठीक है. तो कुछ बहुत देखो अब ये लड़का पहले आ रहा है तो ये तो क्या बेटा आईसीआईसी के रैंकिंग की तरह है. आज जो पहले है कल लास्ट में होगा, आज लास्ट में परफॉर्म अच्छा किया तो पहले. तो वो छोड़ यार, उसमें मेरे को नहीं घुसना है. ये बात समझ में आ गई. अब हम बात करते गाइस. नाउ हियर आई हैव completed about the contents of prospectus. But what if the prospectus contains wrong information? तो क्या? So how to prepare prospectus? What are the provisions? ये सब हमने पढ़ा. When to issue prospectus? In fact, sometimes in exam there is a question that under what circumstances prospectus not need to be issued. So see this is बात है. All the circumstances where share issue is there, but it is not public invitation. तो हम इसको क्या मानेंगे? No need to go for the public issue. For example, bonus share within the members, not to public. No prospectus. Right issue, no prospectus. Private placement, no prospectus. ESOP, no prospectus. So these are तो देखो ये भी कुछ questions ध्यान में रखना. इन एग्जाम दे डू आस्क. ठीक है. So now the next point where I would like to start here is the what if there is material misstatement in prospectus? So law says that if it is proved that misstatement what you have provided in the prospectus are material in nature, all right, then these three entities are liable under this. The first one is the promoters. First one is promoters, directors, and one more is the experts. They are in the radar. And all these three are liable under section 34, 35, 36, and 447. 447 is the general point. Actually, 34 and 36 together quoting about 447. So actual liabilities under 34 and 36, what 34 and 36 contents are like 447. So saying that they are liable under 447, that's wrong. They're liable under 34, where the punishment is as per 447. Can you understand the language of law? आप 447 में लायबल नहीं हो, 34 में लायबल हो, लेकिन वहां पे पनिशमेंट 447 में जो है उस हिसाब से मिलेगी. तो ये थोड़ा कैलिब्रेट करना अपने दिमाग में. So why 34 talks about the criminal liability, all of you know. 35 talks about the civil liability. 36 talks about if you are making fraud. तो की बात है, ठीक है. But are you getting me what I am saying? But I want to say 447 is actually applicable to in 34 and 36. 35 में 447 नहीं आएगा, क्यों? वो civil liability. Difference between criminal and civil, I don't want to go much in detail. I think already you know, but still for the sake of formality. Criminal means like a liability which contains the punishments like imprisonment or fine. Civil means no jail, but just compensation. I think today only I have discussed. ठीक है. चलो बात इतनी हो गई. अब इंपॉर्टेंट मुद्दे पे आते हैं, एग्जाम में क्या पूछा जाएगा. बेटा अभी पूरा टॉपिक को आप 5 स्टार्स दे दो, पूरे टॉपिक को 5 स्टार्स दे दो. वेरी 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 सिग्निफिकेंट. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, बेटा क्वेश्चंस लिखते रहना, वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. Circumstances or rather I would say conditions to claim remedy for the misstatements in prospectus as per section 34 to 36. Second, who can apply for remedy? Clear? Third one is very important. Many times it is asked that what are the defenses available? Defenses available to directors, promoters, and experts from escaping from such liabilities. These three are very important questions. इतना कर लो बेटा, चैप्टर ओवर, और ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है इसमें. लिख लो. So, can I start? Okay. So tell me one thing that when this liabilities will get escalated, or rather I would say triggered, when material misstatement is provided in the prospectus. In fact, it is written that criminal liability for misstatements and civil liability for the misstatements. But not only misstatement, एक और वर्ड ऐड करना है material misstatement. So हमारा जो पहला पॉइंट होना चाहिए वो ये कि मीनिंग ऑफ मटेरियल मिस, आज ऋत्विक क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है वो, ठीक है, मीनिंग ऑफ मटेरियल misstatements. So understand the word material first. ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 320 पढ़ा होगा मटेरियलिटी, बताइए क्या होता है? नहीं गलत है, कंप्लीट नहीं इनकम्प्लीट है, मैं आपको बताता हूँ. एनी आइटम disclosure or non-disclosure of which, disclosure or non-disclosure of which affect the decision of the reader, then it is material to that reader. Something what is material to you possible may not be to others. Yes or no? So two principles. Okay, you know that, but still it's my duty to just टेल यू अगेन. बात हम करते हैं बच्चा, एक प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट है आपके सामने. You have to tell me, is this good company to be invested or not, right? Suppose the total revenue of this company is the 600 crores, total expense is 400, and net profit is 200. Is it good company for the investment? Will you invest in this company in the terms of the net profit earning capacity? Simple सी बात समझो बच्चा, 200 divided by 600 into 100, 33.33% is the rate of return. Like it is the net profit return, what I'm saying. Who earns 33? So for 133 rupees is the profit of this company. Good company to be invested. Generally, any company which has more than 10% profit ratio, good company to go for. But what if suddenly I tell you that out of the 600, 400 crores is the government grant? Then अच्छा, अभी शायद आप समझ नहीं रहे हो कि मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ. What is the philosophical difference between revenue profit and capital profit? Philosophical, not accounting difference. उतना समझा दो. रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट सुना है, कैपिटल प्रॉफिट सुना है, फिलोसॉफिकल डिफरेंस क्या है? क्या नहीं दे सकते, तो उसमें फिलोसॉफी कहाँ से है? नॉट रिलायबल. देखो मैं आपको सीधी सी बात बताता हूँ. You would love to invest in a company which is consistent in performance. Performance would be measured in terms of revenue profit or capital profit. Let me tell you, revenue means lot of hard working manufacturing, sales, and then profit. So profit by operation is nothing but the revenue profit. But what is capital profit? I bought the property for 10 crores and sold for 12. So the 2 crores I earned not because of my performance, because of my luck. Thank God market price went up. and I got it. So it has nothing to do with my mental stability or my application of brain. Even if I'm insane, 12 crore तो वैसे ही मिलने वाले. तो भाई performance और capital profit is not the real measurement of the performance. Revenue profit होता है. So in that context, to try to understand 400 crores, the grant what you taken from the government, it is a performance. Is it your performance? No, it is the blessings of the government. Another thing, it's not recurring in nature. So this year you have received, next year you have not. So why evaluating the revenue profit, it is always advised that you should remove the extraordinary items which are not happening again and again. So what is your regular performance out of this 600? Only 200? Are bolo? So 200 is your sales and 400 is your expenses. So in the regular performance wise, this company is in 200 crore losses. The 200, this 200 profit you derived because of that 400 crores what are given by the government, that is paid once in a while, not every time. Yes or no? So law kya कहता है, this 400 crores should not get hidden in the general tag. It should be separately tagged. It should be separately disclosed. And this is the materiality. Yes or no? For example, your fire taken place and 60 crore rupees goods got destroyed. If you separately put into the profit and loss account, it may give the wrong message to the people. How come? Company is careless. So what you have done, instead of putting the new head, loss by fire, you debited in the general head, other expenses. 60 crores are the part of other miscellaneous expenses, or it needs to draw the special attention. Materiality. So here materiality concept is not followed. But am I clear? So ये materiality हुआ, it affects your decision. But again, one comment: certain disclosures affect certain segment, certain doesn't affect. So materiality, it is not a common concept. It is totally subjective. Depends upon person to person. Do you agree with me? Something what is material for you may not be material for me. बस ये बात ध्यान रखना. So ये हो गया material का meaning. Don't worry, exam में नहीं आएगा. Exam में ये 3 questions है. So then, so why you are discussing? Because if you want to understand these 3 questions, आपकी ये background clear होनी चाहिए. ठीक है? Now what is misstatement? So guys, misstatement में यहाँ पे दो बातें आती है. सबसे पहला, falsification of the facts. लिखना हो तो लिख लो. Falsification of the facts. And second, what is coming over here, it is incomplete truth. Incomplete truth or suppression of the fact. Both are same only. In short, these two, if you are reading together, it just gives the one interpretation, and that one is nothing, hiding something, concealing something. Okay? Hiding the facts. Clear? All right. 2 questions for your exam. Chalo shuru kare. Now, whatever I'm explaining, my dear students, that had already been asked in exam. So, question number 1. There is a company which went for the public for the 50 crore rupees public issue. That is the public offer. Okay. It stated in the prospectus the following statement that company has consistently paid the dividend at the rate of 20% since last 5 years. However, it failed to clarify. It's failed to. It failed to clarify. It failed to clarify that it is out of capital profit and not out of revenue. Question is, it is material misstatement or not? Is it material or not? You tell me, whenever you just read like this that the company has paid the 20% of the dividend, what's the first impression comes to your mind is, okay, company has good performance, but suddenly you realize that it was paid out of capital, perhaps your decision could be different. Earlier it was allowed, now it's not. Now actually when you read the provisions of the section 123, ऐसा कोई क्लैरिफिकेशन नहीं है, बट ओवरऑल अगर आप देखने जाओगे तो अलाउड नहीं होगा, सिर्फ रेवेन्यू में से आपको देना, फ्री रिजर्व में से दे सकते हो, आप समझ रहे हो, फ्री रिजर्व में से। हालांकि फ्री रिजर्व में कैपिटल प्रॉफिट ऐड होगा या नहीं होगा, इसके बारे में लॉ ने कुछ नहीं लिखा है, तो हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता। तो अगर फ्री रिजर्व में कैपिटल प्रॉफिट चला गया तो यस पॉसिबल है कि आप डिविडेंड कैपिटल प्रॉफिट से पे करो। बेसिकली व्हेन यू सेल द बिल्डिंग, यू हैव अर्न्ड द प्रॉफिट ऑफ 2 crores, you credit in your profit and loss account under the head of profit by sale of building। तो जो उधर क्रेडिट हुआ है वही तो at the end of the day will become the part of net profit। So net profit has the two categories: earned from the operations, earned by selling the assets, earned from the revenue operations, revenue profit, और कुछ बिल्डिंग बेच के किया तो कैपिटल प्रॉफिट। अरे भाई समझ में आया? हालांकि कैपिटल रिजर्व इज समथिंग द पार्ट ऑफ कैपिटल प्रॉफिट बट डिफरेंट। छोड़ो, अकाउंट्स में नहीं जाना मुझे, सुनील सर को पकड़ो। तो it is misstatement or not? Okay, this is the misstatement, but I want to ask you, it will go under what? Will it go under the falsification of the facts, or it will go under the incomplete truth? You have shown the truth, but truth was not complete, because of which the people got misled. Their decision could be different if you would have given the proper details, complete details. So purposefully, intentionally, unintentionally, I don't want to go, but yes, you have hid the facts. It is going under misstatement, but it is material to you or not. So we have to analyze the intentions of that at the time of making the decision of the investment, whether dividend was the primary criteria as determining factor or not. If it was the primary determining factor, then it is material to you, but it was not taken into care at all. Then it is misstatement, but not a material misstatement. So let me tell you, bacha, liability under section 34, 35 and 36 is applicable if misstatement is material. If it is normal misstatement, you can't claim this. For example, Mr. Chirag is one of the director, but by mistakenly it is treated as Mr. Mirag, spelling error. Is it misstatement or not? But material? भाई गलती हो गई है छोटी सी, और इससे बड़ा क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है? माई एक्सपीरियंस इज सेम, माई क्वालिफिकेशन तो सेम, मेरा पूरा बायोडाटा एज इट इज रहने वाला है। आर यू गेटिंग मी? तो बस ये चीज मैं आपको कहना चाहता था, mere misstatement will not attract the liability, material misstatements will attract the liability. Am I clear? बोलो, ठीक है। Let me conclude the point now. So if there is material misstatement in the prospectus, you can claim the remedies as mentioned under section 34, 35 as mentioned over there. But even if there is misstatement, there are some conditions to claim the remedy. So now I would like to solve the another question. The question is here: conditions to claim the remedy and who can apply for the remedy. Okay, let's start with one of the exam questions. Come on, start. ये question लिखो यहाँ पे। आप सर, चेतन, right? So at one day, Mr. चेतन, ये बेटा क्या नाम है आपका? भावना, हाँ। अब हुआ ये कि चेतन applied in the IPO of, कौन सी कंपनी लेंगे? Reliance Industries Limited, and got allotted with the shares amounting to ₹50,000. Bhavna wanted to buy the shares, but somehow she couldn't apply, so she didn't get allotted with any shares. Later on, Chetan sold these shares to Bhavna, making the profit of 60,000. Profit of 60,000. But as soon as Bhavna bought, expecting that the market price will rise up more, it happened opposite to that. So now the valuation of the 60,000 in her hands is just the 20k. So she has lost 40,000 rupees just in a month. I assume it is not 50,000 but 50 crores then. You bought for 60 crores, but now you can fetch only 20 crores. 40 crores का चूना, right? ठीक है. अब इस स्थिति में Bhavna wanted to find some middle ways so that it can recover her losses. What are the total losses here? 40,000. So how would you recover? So what Bhavna did is Bhavna started reading the prospectus, and she finds that some of the areas are seriously misstated. And if the people would have known to that, they might have not applied to that. So these are material misstatements also. So she went to the court and said that the prospectus contains material misstatement. I want my losses back under section 35. Tell the company to compensate by referring to the provisions of the prospectus, like whether company is liable for this 40,000 or not. Bhavna should have. Bhavna checked it. Bhavna checked it and then she bought from Chetan. Now, okay, fine. देखो एक बात समझो. Are you getting that इंटर में कैसे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे? अभी भी आप समझ नहीं रहे हो. समझ रहे हो आप? गूगली आएगी, यॉर्कर आएंगे. संभाल के खेलना पड़ेगा आपको. तो अगर आपकी क्लैरिटी नहीं है कॉन्सेप्ट्स में, तो आंसर तो छोड़ो, क्वेश्चन को इंटरप्रेट करने में ना नहीं आना चाहिए आपको. टेक मी वेरी सीरियसली. ठीक है. तो आइए बेटा हम बात करते हैं. नाउ इफ यू वांट टू क्लेम द रेमेडी, कंडीशंस क्या है? फर्स्ट कंडीशन, okay, so you can write like this, that in order to claim the remedy, for the losses due to material misstatement in prospectus, following conditions need to be satisfied. Following conditions need to be satisfied. एक काम करते हैं बेटा, आफ्टर दिस आई वांट टू स्टार्ट जनरल मीटिंग, सो वंस आई कंप्लीट दिस, उसके बाद हम ब्रेक ले लेंगे, लंच ब्रेक. ठीक है, शायद 1 to 2 हो जाएगा, 1:15 to 2:15 समथिंग अराउंड. और खा के आइए, फिर नया चैप्टर शुरू करेंगे. ठीक है. कंडीशन नंबर 1, the person who is claiming the remedy shall be the allotee of the shares, shall be allotee of the security. Hey, look, I'm using the word security. What do you mean by this? If not shares, what I'm talking about debentures, the same prospectus chapter applies. ठीक है, सेम, वो ध्यान रखना आप लोग. The person shall be what? The allotee of the security, who relied on the prospectus contents which are misstated and material to him, and suffered the losses due to it, and applied to legal aid within reasonable time by giving up the privileges on knowledge, on notice, ऐसा लिखो. So these are the 5 power-packed conditions what you need to remember. टेक्स्ट बुक में स्कैटर्ड है, स्कैटर्ड समझ रहे हो, एक पैराग्राफ वहां पर लिखा है क्या, मैंने क्या किया, एक मंत्र बना दिया, ये मंत्र बोलते हैं इसको शॉर्टकट में। ये आप मानो आपके बुक का 2 या 2.5 पेज होगा इतने में, लेकिन आप सारे क्वेश्चंस कर पाओगे। वही 34-35 जहां से शुरू होगा वहां पे आ जाना चाहिए। इधर देख लेते हैं। हाँ यहीं पे होगा। When to revoke and who can revoke, देखो प्रीरिक्विजिट्स, और भी आगे करके तो आ जाएगा। पढ़े अभी? तो guys, first condition is like okay, tell me prospectus is actually issued for whom? मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन, let me tell you the logic behind all these points. It is made for whom? For the people who are buying the shares from the stock market, or the people who want to apply to company's IPO? तो prospectus किसके लिए है भाई? जो बाद में खरीदने वाले उनके लिए ना, जो अभी मेरे आईपीओ में पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे। So guys, understand the prospectus terms and conditions can be applied to the people who are existing applicants and will become allotee. Allotee means the persons to whom the shares are allotted by the company itself. So they should be the first contracting party with the company. Yes or no? In short, they should be the persons who must have bought or taken the shares from the primary market and not from the secondary market. I think you can understand the difference between these two. ठीक है, तो पहले तो अलॉटी होना चाहिए। Second, guys, if you're allotee, you must have relied on the statements of the prospectus which are materially misstated. What if, guys, you are applying to the IPO not by reading the prospectus but on advice of your broker? Then guys, whatever was written in the prospectus that didn't concern to you, you are least bothered about it. Are yes or no? So guys, as being the lawyer, you have to prove the first point in the court is what? You should be primary applicant and allotee. Second thing what you need to prove is you relied on the contents which were materially misstated. Again, I want to tell you, you relied on the prospectus. You are applying to this company because directors have the good profile, but you didn't check the dividend, which was materially misstated. Can you get the justice? You relied on the prospectus, but the things what were misstated was not a material for you. Then you can't. So, two conditions are relied on the contents must have to be misstated. Am I clear? Third, my dear students, when due to this, you must have suffered the losses. You bought the share for 20 rupees and you came to know about these things, but still in the market it is 25. Are you suffering the losses or still you are in the benefit? भाई 20 रुपीज का शेयर लिया था, मार्केट में 25 चल रहा है, तो यू आर इन द लॉसेस और यू आर इन द बेनिफिट? So will you say, sir, my 20 rupees share has become 25, but still there was a material misstatement. I want to cancel the contract. Give my 20 rupees back. अबे गधे, मार्केट में 25 में अवेलेबल है और तू 20 वापस मांग रहा है. Stupidity. So when, guys, if you are not suffering the losses, you will get nothing in return. बेटा मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? Second thing, you have to sacrifice and give up all the privileges. Tell me, guys, you know that it was material misstatement. Your first action is you should give the shares back and you should demand for the refund. अरे हाँ है ना? But instead of that, you are waiting and enjoying the bonus shares, right issue and dividend, and rights to vote in general meeting. So as soon as you are enjoying all the facilities, indirectly you accepted and you are forgiving the company for that. And let me tell you, once you are accepting and forgiving the company, later on you can't complain. Make sense or not? So as soon as you come to know, immediately you have to suspend, you have to hold all the privileges. And last point is, you must have to apply within reasonable time. Do you understand reasonable time? You can't wake up after 20 years. Company, at that moment you just falsified few statements. That is not allowed. Okay. So ultimately what I'm trying to say, in fact I can apply the contract act also. Privity contract. Contract is the private arrangement between the two parties. Or yes or no? So third party cannot file the case if he is not participant in the contract. So as far as the IPO is concerned, it is between Chetan, वही है ना? Chetan and Reliance Industries. Bhavna is the third party. So if anyone has the right to file the case, only Chetan. Bhavna has bought the shares from the secondary market. Even if she would have read the prospectus terms and conditions do not apply on her, because it is restricted and limited only to the extent of the first offer. Am I clear? So all the ways guys, what should be the answer of this question? Bhavna can get nothing but zero. कुछ नहीं मिलेगा आपको. Are all the conditions clear? Yes or no? He could have if other conditions are also satisfied. He has to prove that statements are material misstatement. Misstatement. Second, those statements affected him. Due to that, he has suffered the losses. तो नहीं क्या कॉम्पनसेशन का मतलब क्या होता है? और तुम कहते हो डायरेक्टर को जेल में भेजूंगा. जेल तो तभी आएगी जब वो पर्पसफुल हो. गलती से अगर मिस स्टेटमेंट हो गया तो आप जेल में नहीं भेज सकते, क्योंकि मिस रिप्रेजेंटेशन में आता है, फ्रॉड में नहीं. अगर तेरा लॉस ही नहीं तो भाई तो क्लेम क्या करेगा, मुझे ये बता. हाँ तो ठीक है, फिर कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगी. हाँ लेकिन तेरे को केस करने का अधिकार है भाई. समझ, 2 लाख रुपए का लॉस तेरे लिए छोटा होगा भाई. तू, तेरे पापा भाई मुकेश अंबानी के दोस्त है, लेकिन किसी और कम्युनिटी के बारे में सोचिए. हुआ है बहुत बार. ये डिविडेंड वाला केस जो होता है वो रियल है भाई. ये आपको क्या लगता है मैं इतना अच्छा आदमी हूँ कि इतनी अच्छी कहानियां बना पाऊंगा? आप ऑफेंसिव मत लीजिए, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि भाई जो भी एग्जांपल्स या हम जो बातें कर रहे हैं वो कोर्ट के केसेस ही है. देखो क्या होता है, छोटे मोटे केले को कोर्ट में नहीं जाता, लेकिन जब 1 करोड़ 2 करोड़ 50 लाख 60 लाख, अब टोटल कोर्ट का लिटिगेशन का केस कितना होगा? 5 लाख रुपए 6 लाख रुपए. सब कुछ मिला लो 4-5 साल में तुम मैक्सिमम कितना पे करोगे? 5 से 10 लाख रुपए. एक चांस लेने में क्या जाता है, जीत गए तो गलती से. 10 खर्चा किया, 50 मिलेगा वापस. तो ये एक बड़े लोगों की गेम है, आप समझो. पूरा गरीब, अरे बेचारे उनको कंपनी लॉ क्या हो तो वही नहीं पता होता. गरीब लोग क्या करते हैं जानते हैं जब उनको लॉस होता है? छोड़ यार, यही मेरे भाग्य में था. सॉरी आई एम यूजिंग हिंदी, आई होप यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट. यही मेरी डेस्टिनी में था, यही मेरा लक था यार. हाँ, ऐसा नहीं है बच्चे. जो एनालिस्ट होते हैं ना, तुझे उसका पता नहीं भाई, वो हर एक बाल की खाल निकालते. जो न्यूज रिपोर्टर होते हैं, जिसको ये काम दिया जाता है प्रोस्पेक्टस को स्टडी करके लूफॉल निकाल और उसकी हम रिपोर्ट बनाएंगे. भाई हर किसी के दोस्त मोदी साहब नहीं होते ना, तो वही अदानी है जो फ्लोर में रहा. Alright guys, I want you to just write down all this 5. Have you done this? ठीक है, एक सेकंड में थोड़ा पानी पी के आता हूँ. उसके बाद डिफेंसेस करेंगे, ठीक है, और फिर छोटी मोटी प्रोविजन. दिस चैप्टर इज कमिंग टू द एंड. एम आई क्लियर? Sorry, differences. हाँ defenses. Okay, sorry, defenses. After defenses, that means I'll conclude this and then. ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा अभी जल्द से हो जाएगा. So is it clear in everyone's mind? So now we are moving towards the defenses. Okay, you tell me guys, if there is material misstatement and this got proved, can I say company is liable for the civil liability? That means whatever loss caused to the party, company and its officers need to compensate. इंटरेस्ट अगर पेमेंट पास हुआ है और आपने टाइम पे नहीं किया तो इंटरेस्ट भी आएगा. Interest is such a component that even if it is absent in contract, but if payment is delayed, you have statutory right to claim it. Rate can be a dispute, but आप डिमांड तो कर सकते हो, तो यस वो आएगा. Should get or not, it's not like that. In the chapter of remedy of the breach of contract, Indian Contract Act, you must have learned about the cost of suit topic. नहीं पढ़ा तो मैं आपको बताता हूँ. आपका राइट है कि आप डिमांड करो, देना ना देना कोर्ट के हाथ में. आप डिमांड कर सकते हो. देखिए कोर्ट करेगा ऑर्डर, लेकिन कोर्ट में आप ये स्टबननेस नहीं यूज कर सकते कि मैंने इतना किया तो मुझे इतना ही मिलना चाहिए. रीजनेबलनेस करके एक चीज आती है. यू कुड अफोर्ड द लॉयर हुज फीस वाज 10 lakhs, उसकी टोटल वेल्थ ही 5 lakhs, तो तू मांगेगा वैसा नहीं मिलेगा. क्या मिलेगा? जो कोर्ट को सही लगेगा, उसके फाइनेंशियल कंडीशंस के हिसाब से तू कितना डिजर्व करता है. तो ध्यान रखो, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में रीजनेबलनेस के ऊपर सबसे ज्यादा स्ट्रेस दिया गया है. आप ये भी नहीं कह सकते नहीं एक्चुअली लेकिन मेरा इतना हुआ. बात इतनी है कि क्या इतनी जरूरत थी, इसकी जरूरत थी, इसकी आवश्यकता थी. 10 लाख, अब भाई लोकल लॉयर को उठा लेते तो वो खर्चा 50,000 60,000 होता. अब तुम कपिल सब्बल को लेके आ रहे हो जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का एडवोकेट है, वो तो भाई तगड़ा ही चार्ज करेगा. उसकी पर हियरिंग की जो फीस है वो 2 से लेके 5-5 लाख रुपए पर हियरिंग. समझ रहे हो? सिर्फ सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाके वापस आ जाए 5 लाख का बिल बन जाएगा उसका. तो आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि मेरे पास बिल्स है तो मुझे उतने वापस दो. तुम्हें जो चाहिए वो नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन जो तू डिजर्व करता है उतना तेरे को जरूर मिलेगा. इसी को तो न्याय कहते हैं शायद. चलिए, defenses. Why defenses? So first of all, understand the background. What we have proved so far in this entire discussion. We try to learn this thing that if material misstatement, people relied and invested the money and suffered the losses. Company is liable. As far as the criminal liability is concerned, directors, promoters and the experts are liable. Why experts are liable and who is the expert? ये किसी ने नहीं पूछा. Expert की definition बताओ. If I today ask you the question for the 3 marks, write down the definition of the expert. क्या लिखोगे? भाई ये सिलेबस में है. इन्वेस्टमेंट एज वेल एज एडवाइजर, कंसल्टेंट, सजेशन गिवर. थोड़ा लाउड बोल बेटा. इन डेप्थ नॉलेज ऑफ, आई एम द ग्रेट म्यूजिशियन, और मेरा संगीत में ज्ञान बहुत बड़ा है. एम आई एक्सपर्ट? So everybody is expert in his field. So what is expert? Any qualification? Do you assume the company wants to take the action? But what is expert? You are a person. So it's a company stupidity. If you are not expert, why company followed that? हाँ तो एक्सपर्ट का मतलब क्या होता है, मैं वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ. बाउंड टू वाई? ऐसे नहीं है, देखो यही चीज है. अगेन सॉरी, ये जो स्ट्रगल की ना आप लोगों ने, यही एग्जैक्टली एग्जाम में होता है. इसको बोलते हैं लैक ऑफ क्लैरिटी. अब ये जो पिछले 30 सेकंड्स में हुआ इस क्लास में, क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल है. आपने क्या किया, गरबा गाए हैं, आप समझ रहे हो, इधर से उधर घूमे, क्लैरिटी नहीं है आपकी. तो ये सारी चीजें पढ़ते टाइम पे ध्यान में रखनी है. लॉ में होता है, ऑडिट में होता है, थैंक गॉड ईआईएस में तो बहुत होता था, अब सब्जेक्ट ही निकाल दिया है, तो बेटा थोड़ा शांति से बैठ सकते हैं आप. एक्सपर्ट, प्रोस्पेक्टस और एक्सपर्ट की क्या रिलेशन हो सकती है? Guys, you are issuing information to the public. How would public rely on that until and unless it is certified by some persons? And guys, right of the certification is given to everyone or only to specific one who has in-depth knowledge of that domain, who has the right to certify certain things. So let me tell you, expert means a person who has the right to issue the certificate under the law. And that certificate may belong to anyone. As being a chartered accountant, do I have right to certify any company's financial statements? I am the expert, my dear students. As being the company secretary, do you have the right to certify any company's corporate compliances? You are the expert. As being the doctor, as per the Medical Council of India, do you have right to certify anyone's health issue? Blue form, best example. रिकॉर्ड में है, वरना कुछ बातें बोलता हूं. Doctor is what? Expert. Advocate. Who knows better than the advocate that other law compliances are made or not? So can he certify under the law, not under the randomly? Yes, law itself gives the power that you have right to certify those things. He is the expert. But musicians are not expert. Actors are not expert. Why? बेटा कौन से एक्ट के अंडर में वो सर्टिफिकेट देंगे आपको? आप समझ रहे हो? तो इसकी एक कन्फाइनमेंट बाउंड्री होनी चाहिए. इनफैक्ट चलो आपको लगेगा कि ये कहानियां कर रहा है, कोई बात नहीं, मेरे पास सबूत है, आइए सबूत देखते हैं. डेफिनेशंस पे जाएंगे, है ना, सीधा आके डालेंगे व्हाट इज एक्सपर्ट. सो व्हेन यू कम टू गाइस सेक्शन 2 सबसेक्शन 38, guys, expert includes engineer, a valuer, chartered accountant, company secretary, cost accountant, and any other person who has the power or authority to issue what certificate under any law of the time being in force. तो जो सर्टिफाई करने की लॉफुल पावर रखता है उसे हम एक्सपर्ट मानेंगे. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आई आप लोगों को? So why expert will also be targeted under section 34 and 35? The reason is just because of his wrong certification, people got misled. So not only directors are responsible, they are also equally responsible for that. Are you getting me? But some defenses are there. Defenses means by using those arguments you can prove yourself non-guilty. जब मैं बात करूं डिफेंसेस की, तो उसमें क्या समझना है? If you prove like this, right, then this punishment won't be imposed on you. तो आइए बच्चे कॉमन डिफेंसेस पढ़ते हैं. पॉइंट नंबर 1, guys, if I am the expert or I am the director, can you put my name under the certification without my consent? Yes or no? So I have to give the consent in writing that I don't have any problem if you use my name under this certification under the prospectus. Yes or no? Under the prospectus. What if, guys, as soon as I came to know that it's a fraud, most of the certifications what I have made, the documents were fabricated and photoshopped. So guys, first defense available to me is I have to withdraw the consent. क्या करना होगा? I have to withdraw the consent. So before the prospectus could be issued, if the expert director or promoter has withdrawn the consent letter from to get their names included in the prospectus, court will not punish them. Because before their names could go to the public, it is taken back. Yeah, but even after taking it back, if the company keeps it, it is not your fault. It is whose fault? Company's fault. Am I clear? So the first point is withdraw consent. What if guys the prospectus is already registered with the ROC and SEBI? अब क्या करोगे? ROC SEBI को भी चला गया है. अब क्या करोगे? Next day there is what? Issue. Then guys withdraw the consent. Not only by the letter but also by advertising in newspaper. And this concept is known as public notice. क्या बोलते हैं? अरे बोलो भाई, इसको हम क्या कहेंगे? Public notice. अरे हाँ है ना? However, till you issue the public notice, if the prospectus is already read by those other people, let's say I issued the public notice one day later than the prospectus issued, but during that one day, whosoever believed in my statement, am I liable to them? Am I liable to them? Have you got the question? Prospectus is issued, suppose, as on 1st January, but I withdrew my consent as on 3rd January. So all those people who relied upon the prospectus between 1st and 2nd day, am I liable? Yes, I am liable because till that date I didn't withdraw my consent. So 3rd onwards I am not liable, but before that I am liable. Am I clear? But that is too much professional, हमको उसमें नहीं जाना है. थर्ड पॉइंट को हम समझते हैं यहां पे विड्रॉ कंसेंट. उसके बाद what if you prove that there was misstatement but not material? So prove that I agree it was what? Misstatement, but that misstatement is not material. So why are you shouting? So then also you can go ahead with this. Fourth is you prove it that on knowledge of the misstatement, on what? Knowledge of this misstatement, you efforted enough not to get included in prospectus. What does it mean? Once you came to know that, oh God, it's a false statement and I by mistake did it, you tried almost all the efforts to prevent the company, to prohibit the company from publishing it, but still company didn't obey you. So once you supply all the communications, WhatsApp messages, chat messages, mails, letters to the code that I tried, look my lord, a lot of efforts to stop the management, but management at the end couldn't do. So they are liable, I'm not. बेटा मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? Fifth, if you prove that in those circumstances anybody could believe the statements as valid. What does it mean? Fifth one, the management was okay. You complete this. I think you're writing this. ये क्वेश्चन कई बार एग्जाम में पूछा गया है, कई बार, मैनी टाइम्स वो एग्जाम में पूछा गया है. हाँ जाओ जाओ. ठीक है. So what it is saying that you prove it that management was so smart, they manipulated the fact and the evidences. And not only me, but any normal human being, if come across with those documents, everybody could believe what? Those evidences as valid. So based upon those false, I certified. But my lord, that falsification was not made by me, it was made by the management, and it was not easy for me to identify whether it is genuine or not. So my lord, not only me, but if you were in my place, you could have believed the same the way I had. So अगर आप ये भी प्रूव करने में कामयाब हो गए, you will not get any, because you see, if your brain is got washed by supplying the wrong information or wrong documents, what is your fault in that? Not ना. तो आपको डिफरेंस मिलेगा. 34, 35 will not be applicable. Am I clear? Yes sir. So guys, after that I would like to go to the 36, but 36 I don't want to tell you because 36 discusses about what? Fraud. So if you are making the fraud and cutting the money of the people, prospectus chapter not available. 37 is very interesting. 37 क्या कहता है? 37 talks about the action, and that is nothing but the class action. क्या है? Okay, long back, मैगी पता है ना, नेस्ले का प्रोडक्ट है, if I'm not wrong. उसमें problems detect हुए थे. Because some of the ingredients what this company was using, that was substandard or like beyond what it was the standard prescribed. Look, the more lead means lead. If you add in the food object to add the taste wise, it would be awesome, but very much hazardous to the human health. So some of the samples literally failed in the FSSI lab, and government decides to put the ban on Maggi stock. Not only to that, there were so many NGOs in this country which are working for the public welfare. They filed a complaint against the Maggi company that you are playing with the health of the people. I think almost more than 10 petitions had been filed. Kitni? 10 petitions had been filed in the 10 different states of this country. But can I say the matter was same? Matter एक ही था ना, Maggi. All the 10 states, 10 different courts. If guys, these 10 cases are getting running in this 10 different courts, can I say 10 different judges, 10 different resources will be wasted? What do you advise? Club all the 10 cases, make it one, and get it fought in one particular case. Why are you investing your 10 different courts over there? Because, bhai, aap jante ho, in India, we have the scarcity of the judicial people who can do well. आपको पता होना चाहिए. So under section 37, corporate law allows the shareholders that if you have any common complaint, let's say there are 100 people who got cheated by prospectus. So they advise that instead of filing one individual complaint, make a class. Unite together, make a group and file one complaint for all. So this is nothing but known as class action. Got it? Action by one group of people, by united together. उसको हम क्या मानेंगे? उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे बेटा? Class action. So this power is given under section 37. Am I clear? Again guys, पूछा नहीं, ये सिर्फ एक additional power है, तो जाना नहीं है. 38 is about the personation. बेटा personation मतलब लिखो उसको fictitious identity. Fictitious identity. Fictitious identity. So now what do you mean by this fictitious identity here? You're trying to pretend something what you are not. Just like you're mimicking someone, you know. But what is the relation of that? You see, you are applying the shares of the company in the name which are not actually existing in the eyes of law. Okay, let me tell you just one simple story here. ज़्यादा हम दूर नहीं जाएंगे यहाँ पे. Suppose company could achieve just 81%. So what company did is company passed one journal entry. ध्यान रखो. Cash account debit to share capital account. And they debited and credited 99%. 81 real money received, 9% journal entry. बेटा total कितना हो गया? So 9% is the share allotted by the company. Can I say in the fake names? Actually ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं. No, never. My point is document evidences. Do you believe in making of evidences? Assume the total is 100 crores. 81 crores received, 9 crore I couldn't. So I have to refund the amount. So just to maintain the limit of 90%, what I have done is like I passed one fake entry. And I told this SEBI that bhai, my 90% is over. वो आप कहेंगे कैसे? What share I would say SEBI will demand? will demand the list of the shareholders. But if I tell my 5 people कि पूरी रात जाग के 10,000 लोगों के फेक नेम बनाने हैं आपको, कितना टाइम लगेगा? आई थिंक 4-5 दिन में हो जाएगा। क्या आपको करना? नकली फॉर्म बनाने हैं, पॉसिबल है या नहीं है? डुप्लीकेट फॉर्म्स, डुप्लीकेट सिग्नेचर्स। And if the SEBI is asking a question, just one simple, God knows from where the application has come. Has come. Paisa, money has come. So we have to. Now SEBI says, okay, show me the money. कोई बात नहीं. Provide what? The fake bank statement. By using today the facility like Excel, how much time you need to take to create any fake documents? मैं ये कहता हूँ पॉसिबल है या नहीं है? अरे बोलो। अरे जानते हो दोस्तों, जिंदगी में क्राइम करने की हिम्मत कहां से आती है? क्राइम करने की हिम्मत कहां से आती है? इस जगह से आती है आपकी मेंटालिटी कि चलना यार, पकड़े गए तो देखा जाएगा। इफ यू आर कॉट अप वी विल सी इट, बट राइट नाउ वी आर नॉट कॉट अप, एंड सो दे आर प्लेइंग द क्राइम बेस्ड ऑन द प्रोबेबिलिटी विल दे गेट कॉट और नॉट. So lawmakers are thinking that you must have such a strict punishment in the law कि punishment को देख के ही वो क्या कर ले, हाँ, करे ना करे ठीक है, चांस ही ना ले, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. So you are passing what the manipulated entry, and if you got caught, and if there is less punishment, it is actually not prohibition, it's a motivation. करो, penalty भर के छूट जाओ. So that is why guys section 38 is created. So if you're personating someone, that means you are taking the shares in the name what you are not. Or it is also for the company, you are allotting the shares to someone who is actually not existing in this world due to any reason, like to complete to 90% or to favor someone, God knows what. Then it is equivalent to a fraud, and maximum 10 years imprisonment is there. I think 10 years imprisonment is a good demotivation not to go for that. But instead of that, अगर punishment ऐसा होता, every officer will be punished for the 50,000 rupees. Officer बोले बॉस, तो अब समझो करो, 50,000 भर के छूट जाओ, खत्म करो बात को. That is the reason guys, when you read here 38, punishment for impersonation, I want to draw attention that if anybody is found, a person who makes or abets making an application in fictitious name, makes or abets making the multiple applications in different names, different combination, Chirag Akhani, Akhani Chirag, Chirag Amlani, Amlani Chirag. Why? More application अगर आप कंपनी में डालोगे, there are high chances that you will get more shares. Are yes or no? So law says applying in the fake names and allotting the shares in fake names both are punishable. और बेटा punishment यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? और बेटा 447 आप घर पे जाके पढ़ लेना क्या है वो, ठीक है? So with this students, I want to announce that whatever I wanted to teach in this chapter of the prospectus, that is now coming to the end. Am I clear? वो मैंने पढ़ा दिया. If any foreign company comes to India to take the investment, do they need to follow this chapter? Yes, because definition में कह दिया है body corporate. ठीक है, कोई डाउट है यहाँ तक? ठीक है, तो आप जाइए लंच में. We are meeting after 45 minutes. Thank you. That means it is 1:24. 2:15 or 2:20 around we are meeting again. चैप्टर का ऐसा कोई फिक्स नहीं है. हाँ, लेकिन मैं आपको एक काम करता हूँ कि कुछ अटेम्प्ट का वो दे दूंगा कि पिछले इतने अटेम्प्ट्स में से इस चैप्टर में से कितनी बार पूछा गया है और कितने मार्क्स का आया है. इस मार्क्स में से आप जाओ 5 to 6 मार्क्स, बट नॉट गारंटी कि एवरी अटेम्प्ट दे शफल, तो फिक्स नहीं है. बट अगर आएगा तो यकीन मानिए सर 5 से 6 मार्क्स के नीचे क्वेश्चन इसकी नहीं बनेगी, कभी नहीं. मैं तुम्हें एक किस्सा सुनाता हूँ यहाँ पे. देखो क्या हुआ था. एक बंदा था, कभी कभार ऐसा लगता है कि जीवन में आलस्य जो है, लेजीनेस, वो कभी कभार फायदा करवा देती है। तो अपना ही एक स्टूडेंट, अच्छा रिकॉर्डिंग पहले बंद कर दो या चलो रख ही लेते, कोई बात नहीं, वैसे तो केस स्टडी ही है। तो आप जानते कल जब मैंने आपको कंपनीज एक्ट का कंटेंट बताया था, व्हेन आई जस्ट गिव इट, लाइक आई टोल्ड यू दैट सम चैप्टर्स आर वेरी स्मॉल चैप्टर्स, सो ही डिडंट डू जनरल मीटिंग, ही डिड डिवेंचर, डिपॉजिट एंड चार्ज। क्या बिग? जनरल मीटिंग उसने नहीं किया, वो बिग है। उसके नसीब देखो बेटा, उस अटेम्प्ट में जनरल मीटिंग में से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आया। डिपॉजिट 5 मार्क्स, डिवेंचर 6 मार्क्स, चार्ज 5 मार्क्स। बेटा इसको बोलते लॉटरी लगना। आपने तीन 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 पेजेस के चैप्टर किए हैं और उसमें से आप समझ लो 15 मार्क्स की क्वेश्चन आ गई यार। इसलिए बच्चों को ये कहता हूँ कि छोटे छोटे चैप्टर पहले कर लो, नहीं आए तो टेंशन नहीं, उतना ज्यादा एफर्ट नहीं लगेगा, लेकिन आ गया तो कम एफर्ट्स में ज्यादा मिल जाएगा भाई। ये हमेशा ध्यान रखना, किसी भी थ्योरी में सबसे पहले वो उठाओ जो कंटेंट में कम लेकिन मार्क्स में ज्यादा है। आप समझ रहे हो? धीरे धीरे समझोगे। सो दैट्स ऑल गाइस, सी यू इन द, मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे नहीं पता। हाँ, कुछ कह सकते हैं, अकाउंट्स ऑडिट, क्योंकि तो सीए के ऊपर ही है, तो वो तो आना ही आना है। डिविडेंड श्योर नहीं है। जनरल मीटिंग कुछ ना कुछ अवश्य आएगा, कुछ ना कुछ जरूर आएगा। शेयर कैपिटल इतना बड़ा है, कुछ ना कुछ। शेयर कैपिटल मतलब ये 3 चैप्टर, बेसिक्स, ट्रांसफर, ट्रांसमिशन एंड अलॉटमेंट, आएगा ही आएगा। बाकी वजह प्रोस्पेक्टस कुछ कह नहीं सकते हैं। डिबेंचर, डिपॉजिट, चार्ज, थोड़ा वो उनमें से कुछ, क्योंकि वो जो फर्स्ट 2 यहाँ पे है, मैं उसको फाउंडेशन के 5 डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स मानूंगा, तो उनमें से भी कुछ ना कुछ अवश्य आएगा। देखो एक बार रिव्यू करके जाओ। हाँ उसमें हाँ उसमें सिर्फ डेफिनेशन है प्रिलिमिनरी में। तो आपका रियल कंटेंट तो वही सेकंड से ही शुरू होगा, तो वो फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड कुछ नहीं है। ये जो आप देख रहे हो अभी यहाँ पर मेरे पास ये सॉफ्टवेयर है, वो इंडेक्स ही तो आपकी किताब है ना। देखो उसके उसके चैप्टर के नेम भी स्टडी मटेरियल में सेम लिखे होंगे, प्रिलिमिनरी, इनकॉर्पोरेशन, वही सेम टू सेम है। तो उन्होंने भी चैप्टर के नेम से वो यहीं से उठाए हैं, तो ये मेन सोर्स है। आप जानते हो ये जो बुक मैं आपको यहाँ से पढ़ा रहा हूँ, ये बेटा एमसीए की वेबसाइट से उठाई है। अगर कल कोई अमेंडमेंट आया होगा वो आज यहाँ पे पब्लिश हो जाएगा। नहीं समझे आप? तो कंटेंट में इसके आगे नहीं जा सकते भाई, ये भगवान है। ठीक है, तो वो सिलेक्टिव स्टडी मत कर प्रत्युष। देखो मैं सभी को रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि सिलेक्टिव में मत जाइए। अभी आपके पास समय है तो सब पढ़ लीजिए, सब पढ़ लीजिए। और फिर कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है वो क्वेश्चन आंसर्स के स्टडी से पता चल ही जाएगा। समझ रहे हो? ठीक है, चलिए मिलते हैं बच्चे, थैंक यू।